Hi one and all. So in the previous classes, we learned about variables, we learned about arrays, collections, and we learned about arguments, and we learned about how to get a text present in the clipboard, and we learned about data table, which is an important data structure, and we learned how we can able to build the content of the data table dynamically, and also we learned how we can able to extract the data present in a specific web page, right? And finally we learned about how we can able to perform read, write, read range, write range, and append operations on an Excel file, right? So again I'm suggesting you people to practice those exercises by watching the video, so in order to get familiarized with the activities present or provided by the UiPath Studio for the RPA developers, right? So with that, I can say we have successfully completed two units, like unit 1 and unit 2. Now we are starting with the unit 3. Okay, and as you already aware that every unit is composed of two chapters. In case of unit 3, consists of chapter number 5 and chapter number 6. Okay, now first we shall start with chapter number 5 and then we shall go ahead with the chapter number 6. Okay, the title of this chapter is Taking Control of the Controls. Okay, it is an interesting, right? It is an interesting chapter and very important chapter for RPA developers. Okay, at a high level, understand the aim of this chapter is, here you will learn how to get control over the controls. Okay, I will simplify this statement. Controls at a high level, understand, those are nothing but the elements, particularly UI elements present in the application. Suppose if I take this as an browser and I have opened, let us assume we have opened a Google search engine. There will be a big text box or a search box, and there will be a search button over here. So controls are nothing but the elements, UI elements present in the application. In this case, we can take this search box and the button as the UI elements, or we can treat this as an controls. And I hope you are clear, because I am giving a simplest example to understand about controls. Controls are nothing but basically UI elements present in the application, and we have taken an example of Google search engine. In that case, this search box and this button will be act like an control, and you can take even this file. There will be a menu options over in the browsers, and as address bar will also be there in the browser. Okay, all these are nothing but controls or UI elements generally. So taking control of these controls, of these all UI elements present in the application, okay, that is what you will learn from this chapter. Okay, so the student will learn how to get control over the UI elements present in the application that they are focusing on. Clear? Okay. According to the author, as I said, students or readers will learn about different facilities or activities or selectors present in the UiPath Studio to control the controls. Controls are nothing but UI elements. Now I will go one level below. Controlling is nothing but extracting and taking some action on the controls present in the application. So that is the main objective of this chapter, and the roadmap to understand this or to achieve this is this. So first we have to find a way to find and attach the windows. Then we need to find a way to find the controls. Then techniques to wait for a particular control. Then we will learn about acting or performing some actions on controls. Then you will learn an interesting I can say feature called UI Explorer present in UiPath Studio. Then you will learn about handling user triggered events. Clear? So this is the roadmap for this chapter, and in this video the objective is I will touch upon finding and attaching windows, and we shall touch upon finding the controls, and in the coming classes we shall see about the other continuation of that finding controls. Clear? Okay, we shall start with the first objective of this chapter, where the objective is to learn a new activity called attach window activity. The job of this activity, as the name itself says, it is to attach the particular window, right? And I will explain why we have to do all this. But when we start with a practical example, and as we all know that activity can be found in the activities panel, and this activity is used to attach an already opened window. This is important. That activity is used to attach or to identify an already opened window. Means already that application should be in running mode. I will give an example in few seconds. And remember, this attach window activity will be auto generated when you are using specifically a desktop recorder to record your actions performed on the applications, right? Few versions will support even basic recording also, but generally understand, if you are recording the actions performed by human being on the applications by using automatic recording approach, then this attach window activity will be given by default. But if you are trying to record the actions performed by human being on the applications manually, okay, then in that case that attach window activity will not be given to indicate the window or the applications. Clear? Okay, I will clarify even this with a practical example. So directly we shall jump to the practical example now, and this is another example that is there in your textbook. You can just follow these steps, or you can use these activities, okay, or the steps or that activities in order to implement this example. Clear? Okay, now we shall start with a practical example, then we shall go ahead with a new concept. Okay, now I have taken an empty project. Okay, I am directly jumped into the project workspace in order to save the time, right? Okay, then I have taken an empty sequence over here. Then we need an activity called attach window activity. So I will go ahead with this. And what is the constraint? Attach window activity is used to attach already opened window, right? No, okay, I will take a notepad. Now notepad is running. This is what I was telling, that it should be opened like this. Okay, maximize or minimize, it is not a problem. Actually, minimize will create a problem. Maximize in the sense means like whether it may be of this size or this size, it does not matter, but it should be opened like this, so that robot can easily identify which particular application that it has to use in order to carry out the task specified by RPA developer. Clear? Okay, then now I will use this feature to indicate I want this particular window. Okay, see here, it has attached a window with an application identified by notepad.exe, right? Now I will take one more simple activity called click activity. Just I want to click file option in that particular notepad application. Okay, now let us check whether robot will do the task. See here, now robot has identified the notepad, particular application, and then it has clicked a file option in that particular window application, right? So this is what this is one simplest example of attach window activity. If you don't use this, let us think about that. If you don't use this, now to better understand that case, now see here, directly, and the first instruction is I want robot to click on file option, and then it has to go with an attach window, right? Okay, now let us see. Now see there, already that application is running. Now we shall do this. Now we shall see what happens. Now see here, it is telling that the target element was not specified for this activity. So from this you can understand that attach window activity is one of the activity which is used by the RPA developer to indicate which particular application that the robot has to choose in order to carry out the task. Clear? Okay, this is one simple example which I like to demonstrate to you to better understand what is the use of attach window activity. So clear? Okay, now I will stop the debugger. I mean forcefully stopping the debugger to stop the robot task. Okay, now with this I hope you people understood about attach window activity. Remember, once again I will repeat, so this is the one of the activity which is used by the RPA developer to to specify the robot which particular window that it has to use in order to go ahead with an in order to complete the task. Okay, one more simplest example I will like to show you with this. Okay, now to demonstrate that, I will take one more notepad application. Now can you see here? Okay, in order to differentiate, I will keep this notepad application as low and this is the upper one. Now we have identified, we have given an instruction to the robot to use this notepad application, not this notepad application, right? Now let us see whether it will click this file option or this file option. Okay, so that this example I think will give a better clarity for you. Okay, now I want to go ahead with this file option. Okay, now let us see what the robot will do. See here, it is taking this application only. Why it is taking this application? Because you have given instruction to the robot to refer to the notepad exe application with the help of attach window activity. Clear? So that is the use of attach window activity. And last thing that which I want to demonstrate here is, as I said, this attach window activity is automatically generated, right? Automatically generated if you trying to use a desktop recording. Now I'll go ahead with the desktop recording and I will do the same, I will record the same actions which I performed manually just few seconds back. Record. Now I will highlight this particular notepad. After that I will highlight this file. Then I will stop. I mean stop the recording and save the actions and get exit. See here that this is what the author was telling, that attach window activity will be used by default if you use a desktop recording or automatic recording. Clear? Now we shall see whether it will do the job. Obviously it will do the job. Clear? It has done the job, right? So this is what theoretically we covered about finding and attaching windows, right? Now with that we shall move on to the one more interesting concept called finding the control. How to find the control, in other words. So there are, according to the author, there are many activities it seems where in the UiPath Studio to find controls on screen or applications. So application can be a web application or it can be a desktop application, right? And these activities are used to find or wait for a UI element. Clear? So which are those activities? So the following are the activities which will help in finding the controls or UI element generally. One is anchor base, the second one is element exist, element scope, find children, find element, find relative element, get ancestor, indicate on screen. See, all these are activities which are present in the UiPath Studio or given by UiPath Studio in order to find the controls. Still we are learning about finding the controls. Next, after learning this, we shall learn how we can able to take action on the finded controls. Clear? So I will touch upon anchor base in this class, and if time permits I will try to touch upon element exist also. Then in the coming classes we shall see the other activities. So anchor base, according to the this is also an interesting activity. So according to the author, this is used for locating a particular UI element by looking at the UI element next to it. I mean, see this one simple example I can quote here. It is, for example, assume that I want to meet a person called X person, where X person is not known to me. I mean, I don't know exact location or exact name, phone number of X person. But I know that that X person is a friend of you. Then in that case I can meet X by reaching you. Clear? So that this is exactly the same thing if you need in case of automation, then you can go for anchor based activity. That's what the author is telling here is the main job of anchor based activity is to locate a particular UI element by looking at the nearest or element near to it. Clear? Either it may be on left side or top or below or bottom. For example, let me be more specific or clear. Let us assume that you want to find this particular search box. Let us assume that this is a search box. Okay, but let us assume that this search box property is not known clear to you. Property for the time being, assume that, as I said, in case of X person, you don't know the exact name, phone number, location. Similarly, you don't know exact position of the search box in the application. Suppose if you treat this as an application or a browser, let us assume that there is a text box present here. You don't know exact position of the search box, but you know that that search box always come to the right side of a button labeled as B. So with the help of this B button, now we can get the reference to search box. So this is the idea of using, or this is the place where you can decide to go for an activity called anchor base. Clear? So this activity is used when we have no control over the selectors. That's what I said. Make it simple. No control in the sense means don't know the exact picture or exact complete information of getting or finding that particular search box. In those cases, you can go ahead with an anchor base. Okay, clear? Okay, then we should use anchor base. As I said, that's what the author is telling. Okay, so this is how the anchor base activity will look. Okay, then according to the diagram, you can find that the anchor base will comes with two activities. One is anchor and then is the drop action activity here. Means using this, this part is used to find a relative element or find element. This activity is used to find the element, and this activity is used to perform action on the target element. Clear? Okay, I will better explain this with an example. Okay, in few seconds. Okay, then after that we shall let me stop here itself. Anchor base example. Then we shall, in the next class, we shall go ahead with an element exist. Clear? Okay, we shall go to the tool. Okay, directly go to the tool. Okay, in order to save the time, I will just directly delete all this recording. Now it is default sequence. Now what we shall do, we shall take a browser. Okay, I will type just Google. So let us take this particular application or I can say a browser. Okay, let me take this URL of that particular page. Now I think you people are familiar with an open browser activity whose job is to open the browser that you have specified by specifying the URL. So I have just pasted that URL. Okay, browser type, I can let it be default, no problem. Okay, or else you can specify explicitly as I have taught it already in the previous classes. Okay, now I will use an activity called anchor base. As I said, see here, it will comes with two activities. One is anchor and the other one is drop the action activity. Action activity, find activity. I make it simple, find element or target element or relative target element. Okay, now I will go ahead with an find element here. Okay, now I will give instruction to the robot by using an option called indicate. Okay, I want to indicate this. Can you see what I can say? Lens. Make it simple, lens. Okay, this is a relative element for the search box. This is the search box. This is the relative element, or I can use this microphone also as a relative element, or this as a relative element, this as a relative element. See, this is what I was telling. These are nothing but UI elements. This one, even sign in, this one. All these are all UI elements. This one, clear? But here I will go ahead with this as an relative element. I want to find that element. I want my robot to find that element. and the action that I want to specify, let us use uh, type into, and I want to type something over here. Okay, I will select that. Then what it has to type is RPA. RPA has to be typed in that search box. Clear? Now we shall see whether the robot will do the task for us. I am running the robot. So by default, which browser it has taken? I am not clear with this. I think Internet Explorer it has taken by default. Okay, can you see here? It is giving the search element as RPA, right? Okay, that is the use of what I can say anchor base. Really, you will not appreciate the use of this anchor base in this through this example, but this is the simplest example that I can code for anchor base. Even I can change what I can say, I can change this browser to Chrome itself. Okay, now it will take Chrome browser. See here, it has taken Chrome browser. Okay, like that. You people already, I hope you are familiar with those things. Okay, as I was telling that this is just a simplest example for learning about anchor base, but really we shall you will understand, or you will realize the real usage of anchor base when in future when you will try to automate some complex task. Okay, so in those cases you will better understand or appreciate the actual need of anchor base. Clear? So with this I will stop the today's class, and in the next class we shall go ahead with the other activities which is used to find the control, like element exist or element scope and so on. So thank you one and all.